This is CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video. Ladies and gentlemen, he'll be on the show, but we got my boy, Anthony Boobie Dixon in the building from the University of Mississippi State, a 6th-round draft pick by the San Francisco 49ers, man. What's up?
What's up? What's up, CG? How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. It is great to see somebody that I have not seen in decades in the Niners uniform, man.
Man, appreciate you for having me, man. It's all love, dog.
It is sure as all love, bro. But, man, hey, so it's awesome to see somebody of your caliber still doing great things in this community, man. But, man, dude, so what really got you into football at an early stage, man?
Man, I think it was just first it was I think it was just really became therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, coming up in Jackson, Mississippi, man, I don't know if you know, it's a really poverty-stricken community, and yeah, man, so we don't have a lot to do. So, you know, once I grasped hold of football, man, and started learning that it could take me places that, you know, I haven't been, man, I kind of fell in love with it, and, you know, people started telling me I was good at it, you know, and I just ran with it.
Oh, that's good, man. But, you know, the interesting part about you, like, you're talking about how Mississippi's poverty, but you were kind of growing up homeless, right?
Yeah, man, you know, been through the worst of the worst, man. You know, that's part of my life that molded me into my, you know, my strong character I feel like I have now, you know, to be able to continue to push through things. But yeah, man, been through it all, dog.
Yeah. So how did you feel about the situation with Brett Favre, man, since he took a little of the welfare money out of the poor, man? Was that kind of like something you had in your mind or not really?
You know, it's not something that I think about every day because, you know, that's those guys' problems. But, man, it was unfortunate, man, because, you know, I'm a big-time Brett Favre fan, you know, and I grew up watching Brett, man, you know, and it just sucks to see him get himself caught up in something like that, you know. I wish he would have went another way, you know, about it, but, you know, that's their problem. So, you know, I hope they handle it the right way.
That's a good answer. I do respect Brett Favre's game, man. That guy was unbelievable. Gunslinger, took chances, took risk factors. I mean, and he was durable. He wasn't like some other quarterbacks that missed significant time. He would play through broken fingers, broken ankles.
Yeah.
Didn't matter, man. That guy was ultimate Iron Man.
Yeah, which kind of molded me to want to be like that. You know, him, Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, you know, a lot of good, you know, all the Mississippi guys that was out front when I was coming up, you know, guys like them molded us to want to be tough and show our toughness every day. So, you know, like I said, it's just an unfortunate situation, and I hope it gets worked out and they do the right thing, you know, man, which is really, you know, just come back and kind of try to just, you know, flip it, you know. Now you got to come back and do something for the community, you know. Now you got to come back and do something for those kids. I think that's how it should be handled, but we're going to see how they do.
Yeah, we'll definitely do, man. So, speaking of your college team, man, I guess Mississippi State's looking pretty good so far as a unit.
Yeah. Dog Pound Rock, you know, man. We Mike Leach got it going this year, man. He done added that strong run game to it, which, you know, I don't know if I know you've been following me on Twitter, but I've been begging for it, you know, since he got there. But he's starting to run the ball now, you know, man, and just the threat of us running it now, it just make our pass game that much more dangerous.
It does. It creates the play action. It does a little bit of everything. Like as soon as you start to establish more of that, that's what makes it so interesting. Like in the early parts, Mississippi State was not like much of a competitor, but when you came around, you turned that program around, and then later they started getting better talents and all that stuff, and they caught my attention because I watch college football in all perspective, even though my squad ain't looking good. Oklahoma's just looking like bottom feeders right now. We ain't looking that good. But Mississippi, they're dogs out there, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man. Part when I came there, that was part of the reason. I know now they still kind of got it going. That was our thing to kind of be where we was at and build it up. We wanted to be in Mississippi, and we wanted to, guys like myself, we wanted to show LSU's and Alabama's and Auburn's we could beat them too. We was just as good. That's how we felt. And yeah, man. A lot of recruits done came through after me, which, a lot of those guys in the NFL now, I know for a fact, a lot of those guys had respect for me. They always, talking to me on social media or hollering at me. It's always love when I see them. So it feels good to be able to start at something like that and to see it keep going, man. That's really the end goal, to see it go 20, 30, 40 years from now and just keep on rolling. And then every year somebody else just kind of take the torch and run with it. We just keep ripping.
Oh, yeah, dude. You're remembered for just the stuff you do for the community, but you're mostly remembered as just a good person to be around with, like your personality. It seems like you have a good time more than most players. Most players take their stuff serious, but you're the kind of guy that likes to have fun, man. I can see that from right off the bat.
Yeah, man. I always carried what I like to call like a, I was locked in, but I was loose. So it's like a loose focus. I used to like to call it, sometimes my coaches and the players used to be looking at me like, they don't know if I'm really tuned in, but I'm like, man, I'm locked in. Like, this is what I do, So, man, I think it's, different stroke from different folks. I grew up loving players like Ray Lewis also and Sean Taylor and Lawrence Taylor. And those guys talk. Deion Sanders, those guys talk. They had fun. They played loose. That was something that I wanted to, do with my game, and I did it,
Yeah, it has to be fun with all the energy, like if you're not here to have fun, then you're in the wrong place, but you got to take it serious too. But so what was as soon as you came into the draft, what was your thoughts of the draft as soon as you got your name called?
Oh, man, it was bull crap. You know what I'm saying? I was way better than a lot of those guys that they took before me, and I knew it, but unfortunately, I had some things work against me during the process, and, I had to wait, but I think people know for sure when I showed up in San Francisco my rookie year that I was more than ready, to, make an impact on the team. And I know I did, so, it is what it is, it's in the past now, but looking back on it, I thought it was, I was furious watching it go on because I'm like, man, they taking these dudes before me. I just led the SEC in rushing, like, I averaged the most yards per game. Like, my team 5-7. I still was like, everybody know I'm getting the ball. It still couldn't stop me. So it was a lot of stuff going through my mind. But, I think for the way it played out, I think I handled it well.
Yeah, like I think one of your best games was against Kentucky where you had like 253 yards. I think you had like 4 or 5 touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Now I think it was like somebody just posted it the other day. My guy Mayhem, shout out to Mayhem. He had just posted it the other day, and that was another big night in the storybook. It was just me just doing what I do, man. Like I said in the interview, I was grinding for my state, pushing it for my team. You know what I'm saying? Just that's just how it was, man. I'm still like that.
Oh hell yeah! Hey, huge shout out to Cardcast. How am I doing? I'm doing great because I got my boy Anthony Dixon on the show. How you feel, Anthony?
Man, I'm feeling great. We got getting ready to go to, after we get done with this, getting ready to go to a big high school football game tonight, that Terry High School versus Oak Grove, well, actually they come to our house, but man, I'm excited for my kids. I'm excited for my high school, and I'm ready to see, the action. So I'm doing great. Lots of great vibes.
Hell yeah, man. Speaking of you, man, you're currently coaching high school football, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's good, man. That's a good way to do it because sometimes most people coach for those youngsters and they succeed at the next level, man. I mean, it's always good to make sure that next kid succeeds and does better than us.
Yeah, man. And what I grown to know, I got a lot of family still back there. I done bumped into cousins and all type of folks that I'm actually close to. But yeah, man, it's just about pushing it back. Giving it back. Just trying to show the next group of athletes. Coming from where I come from, that hey, it can be done, and I want to try to help those guys as much as I can. I enjoy doing it. It's like a hobby. It don't really feel like work, because I'm a natural at it. It's just I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm one of the guys. I'm one of the teammates, guys on the team. And yeah, man. So I enjoy doing it, man. It give me something to do. During retirement. It gets some of them days get boring, but I just try to work them out his best way, keep myself busy.
Oh man, it's always a good thing after playing football. Why not do coaching? It gives them the foundation. It does a lot of stuff. I mean, I've actually interviewed a guy who's actually one of the best DB coaches in the country, but he did wear number 24 before you did for the Niners. Mike Rump. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but that dude.
Yeah. I grew up watching the Niners, man. I don't think a lot of people knew I was a Niners fan from the beginning. I grew up watching. I'm a big Jerry Rice fan. Love Jerry Rice, man. And so when they drafted me, it was like, oh, I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? I told him at the rookie combine, I was like, I want y'all to draft me. When I got a chance to sit down, I was like, that's where I want to be. I want to come to San Francisco. That's like a dream. So, it's a dream come true for sure.
It's like we were drafting Mark Henry at running back, running people over and saying, somebody about to get their ass kicked. Boom! Beat him up, break his neck.
Yeah, man. I definitely played with that kind of attitude, man. I'm a really nice and cool dude off the court, man. But when I get on that field, man, it's almost like I'm a demon, man. Like I'm out there trying to take hearts and break souls and break spirits, and I just played. A lot of it stemmed from what I've been through growing up and where I came from, and I just had a chip on my shoulder. I had a point to prove. Like every time out, every practice, I feel like I had a point to prove. So, that's what it was.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, there's some people that are doing coaching too. Moses, he's asking you an interesting question. Okay. Question for Anthony Dixon. I've been getting a lot of talks about why I don't coach, but my two sons don't want me to coach, saying I'm too intense. But what's your thoughts?
Oh man, tell them they gotta gravitate to that, man. That's what you want from your coach. You want some intensity, like I know playing for some of the coaches I played back in the days, if they was like too mellow or too quiet, you know what I'm saying? I wanted him to feed me, fuel to the fire. Like, let me know if I'm playing hard enough, or let me know if I'm, not doing this right. So I accept intense coaching. I accept intense from my coaches because I think that pushes me to be the best version of myself. So if I would tell Moses guys anything, I would say, man, just tell them embrace it, man, and Moses keep being that guy, man, because every team needs that guy. They need a couple of those guys, to make sure the guys doing what they're supposed to do the way it's supposed to be done.
Oh yeah, dude, you need to get intense. You got to get fired up a little bit. None of this softy coach, none of this yes man stuff. I mean, I want a coach who can push me to my limit at least.
Yep. And you might not always like that push. I know sometimes for my coaches I ain't like that push, but you gotta just think big picture and realize that he may see something in you that you don't see in yourself, and just accept it and try to deal with it and work like they're asking you to work.
Oh yeah, dude. So what was the difference between playing for Mike Singletary and Jim Harbaugh? What were the difference?
Man, both guys were intense guys. Both guys played the game. So they was playing for former players. It's almost like you playing with a teammate, because that's how they was walking through the locker room. They, some of the conversations you had with the guys, you had with them. They was just those type of guys. But, the big difference was, I think it was, man, Coach Harbaugh was a real, he liked to spend a lot of time in the facility. A lot of time, like too much time. Like he just was a real nerd, workaholic about it. Not saying we didn't do that with Singletary, but it was just different when he got there. I mean, all the players was even saying the same thing. It was just different. And the way we prepared and, the way he grinded us and, the way he wanted us to be smart and play with our minds, not just physicality, but, one of his main things was physicality, but it was something different. They definitely was different, but they both was great in their own right too.
I mean, Singletary just had that old school approach because he played for the Bears in the 80s, and he came from a time where Mike Ditka coached the crap out of him and guys like Buddy Ryan. So he came from that old school approach where he wanted you guys to do it the right way. And it may not be something you like, but it's going to get the job done in his perspective. But Jim Harbaugh, he just was he kind of related to the players, and everybody liked him in some ways. Like, I don't know what it is about Jim Harbaugh. I just miss that type of coach, man. Like, Kyle Shanahan just seems more mellow, bro. Like, don't you see the difference?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a difference. But I think the difference is, you got one guy that played the game, and he lived that life, and that's just instilled in him. It ain't going nowhere. That's what I tell, my kids and the people I'm around now. I'm like, man, once you get kind of like in there and you get in that mode and it don't go nowhere. Like even when I'm retired, I'm still, looking at the TV, what I'm saying? Thinking like they think, when I'm coaching my players, I'm trying to push them to think like pros and also my coaches, I'm trying to push them to, think on a higher level. So it's just like, once you get that stuff instilled in you, it don't go nowhere. So, you can definitely tell the difference in, the people that's, come from that and the people that don't.
Yeah, that's true. Like you said, it has to do with them being players. They can relate. And then there's some that just come from different perspective. Like Shanahan comes from a coaching, like a pedigree because his dad. So it's in his DNA, but he did play college ball in Texas, which I think that's pretty much his experience. But as a coach, he's got outstanding philosophy as a play caller, but Jim Harbaugh was just the guy you wanted to play for.
Right. Yeah, and I ain't never really heard about that Texas career, but I'm pretty sure that ain't what he hanging his hat on. He a great coach. Guys like him, he been around great coaches, so it ain't that he don't know the game. He know the game, but I'm just saying as far as like kind of like character, like you say, Jim Harbaugh, Mike Singletary, they was players. They did it 10, 11, 12 years. They had to wake up and get on their grind and go out there and fight every day. Kyle Shanahan, he probably didn't have to do that every day, for 10, 11, 12 years. So that's just not probably like how he is. But it still don't mean he not a great football mind. He don't know football.
No, there's some people that know it prospectively, but playing for Mike Singletary was just like playing for Coach Carter in a football perspective. Man. He wanted teams to be bright, man, and that's what it seemed like.
Fiery. Yeah, he was fiery. He was funny. I don't think people know how hilarious he was. He was so funny. Harbaugh tried to be funny, but he wasn't that funny. That was the difference. Like Singletary was naturally funny. Harbaugh, he tried to be funny, but he really wasn't that funny. So that was just, it was like, okay, he trying.
Yeah, it's like anytime I see a Singletary press conference, can't play without him, can't win without him. I want winners.
Yeah, he got these little crazy faces and these looks he make when he trying to get his point across, and it just had you like, you want to laugh, but he being serious, so you can't laugh. That's how it was with him.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Oh, here's a good question from one of the Niners content creators, Shifty 49ers Talk. Question for AD. Who are some of your favorite Mississippi Bulldog players in the NFL?
Man, Dak Prescott, Chris Jones, Montez Sweat, Fletcher Cox, Jeffrey Simmons, Darius Slay, so many. JT Gray. Man, we got a lot of guys in there right now doing their thing, man. I can't even think of all of them right now. They're going to think I'm tripping because I ain't say their name, but I love all our guys in there right now, man. We got a lot of great dogs in there right now holding it down.
Yeah, it's a good program. Like you said, Prescott's like one of the better quarterbacks in Dallas, and he's actually, when healthy, that's when he makes the difference. Darius Slay, He's a good shutdown corner. He's proven to be one of the best for the Eagles. He was good for Detroit too, so he's been very consistent, fits the system. Like you mentioned, a lot of good ones. Like Jeffrey Simmons is becoming one of the best players on the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
And
got a lot of good O-linemen. Elton Jenkins, Charles Cross with Seattle now. Gabe Jackson, he in Seattle too. You know, we got a lot of, you know, good big boys, interior guys that's doing their thing. So, man, we, you know, I think ever since, you know, since I've been there and on since, man, I think our NFL productivity has grown. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think it's gonna keep going. You look at our roster this year. I think we got the best DB in the nation, and Emmanuel Forbes Jr. You know, you got to watch his tape. I'm hoping
I gotta check him out.
The Bills are. I hope they is. You know, but you know, he one of the best corners in the nation. So it's gonna keep on rolling. We rolling right now.
Oh, I gotta check him out. Is if he's gonna declare for the draft, because I've gotten a couple prospects on the show, man. I got like Spencer Burford on my show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he might after this year.
Oh, I gotta check out the film on this guy, because I mean, there's some ballers from Mississippi State. Like the best one I've heard of all time was Walt Harris.
Walt Harris, DB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, Walt Harris, legend. You know what I'm saying? One of the best to ever do it. You know, and you know, I think a reason why a lot of people, you know, don't talk about him as much because you know he don't say a lot. You know, you don't see him, you know, around a lot. But you know, as far as how he played and what he did, one of the best to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then you had one of your guys, KJ Wright. I think I seen you did one of those Twitters like a while back, and then he replied back with you, but he was just messing with you.
Yeah, man. You know, that was a rivalry. You know, he played for the Seahawks, and back in the day, you know, I kind of got in trouble, and you know, because before one game, I tweeted, "Yeah, we about to go whoop on the Seahawks." You know what I'm saying? And me and him got in the back and forth on Twitter. And I come up in the locker room the next day, and the media guys like, "Boobie, come on, man, you can't do that, man." They like, take it down. I said, I'll take it down, but I ain't apologizing. F them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it was all fun, man. You know, it was all competition. Me and KJ competed in Mississippi State 3 years against each other every day, fighting and clawing. Like every day.
But it was a friendly rivalry.
Yeah, man. We used to, you know, we used to have to see each other every day. And he used to hate hearing my mouth every day because every day I'm out there doing this, I'm busting them up. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't blame him playing 4 years with you in college and then have to play you twice a year as a rival. Man, I get annoyed by that. Like,
yeah.
Oh, here's an interesting question. Sorry for missing Butterfly's question. Tell me about one of your best plays or memories you have playing football.
Playing pro ball. I'll probably say NFC Championship game against the Seahawks. You know, so the year before that, you know, which is still like a story that I just, you know, rubs me the wrong way, but I didn't get to play in the Super Bowl like I wanted to. I felt like if they gave me the ball on the goal line, we'll have a Super Bowl right now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that next year we play Seattle in the NFC Championship. You know, I made a stake to my claim, you know, went over the top, you know, first scored a game, you know what I'm saying? Started off, you know, like this here. So it was like, that was one of my favorite memories, you know, because I was like, man, you know I'm built for this. You know, I know when we get up down close to the goal line, I know for sure, you know, I'm tough down there and that's what I do. So, you know, not getting that touch in the Super Bowl and then coming back the next year and getting in the NFC Championship game, that was a great feeling for me because I was like, yeah, and then we need to do that more often, you know what I'm saying? And we'll win this thing. So, yeah, man, that's probably one of my favorite memories.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like you had a Marshawn Lynch moment, like, hey, give me the ball.
And yeah, I did, man. It really was. It really was, man, one of those moments where I was on the sideline during the game. You know, we got Frank Gore, you know, and I love Frank Gore, but he not me on the goal line.
He's not big as you.
Yeah, that's just facts. So, you know, I wanted that. So it was like, you know, I'm over there asking Coach for it, and he didn't give it to me. So, Yeah, I still don't like him a whole lot for that, but man, it is what it is. I've grown. I think I'm very mature. Still got some work to do, so I try to let things be what they at. So, I done moved on.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Like it just happens. It's one of those moments that it is what it is. Hey, here's a really good question for you for AD. What was your favorite stadium to play in besides Candlestick, of course?
I love Candlestick, man, because I started the last game in that thing. I got a chance to run out the tunnel against the Falcons when Navarro Bowman had the pick, pick six, and we won the game. That was the last night in there, and it was lit, man. So, Candlestick for sure, but let's see. Favorite stadium. Playing them dang Seahawks. It's so loud. That's the loudest stadium that I ever was in. Like literally, me and you sitting next to each other, I couldn't hear a word you were saying. Like, we hollering at each other at the top of our lungs, like, yeah, bro, that's a good play. Yeah, appreciate it. We just hollering at each other at the top of our lungs, you know what I'm saying, trying to communicate. So, we all bunched over in the huddle, trying to lend our ear in because we can't hear nothing Kaepernick saying. It's that hard to hear. So, yeah.
Oh man, so what was the difference between playing for Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick, man?
They both came up together, so they both kind of like had the same mentality, and they kind of had some of the same game. But the thing, Cap had a stronger arm, but Alex was so much of a cool dude and so much of a likable dude. You know what I'm saying? That we love playing with him. Same way with Cap. Cap was just, I think what set Cap maybe apart from Alex, he was so much more of a grinder. Like, not that Alex didn't work, but Cap, for a quarterback, man, the stuff he would do, like lifting wise and running wise, we like, man, this dude, the quarterback, you know what I'm saying? And, when we run sprints, he ahead of everybody. When we in the weight room lifting, he doing the most. He lifting with the linebackers and the quarterback and the running backs lift. He lifting what I'm lifting. I'm in there extra minutes, still doing shrugs, 150-pound shrugs, and he over there doing, 120s, 130s, getting right with me. So that's another reason why we love Kaepernick. Alex Smith, he was just smooth operator though, smart guy, so, they both had similar games, but Cap arm strength probably set them apart from Alex, but, they both great quarterbacks. I love both of them.
Yeah, I heard Alex was more of a laid-back, really chill dude, but kind of very relatable with everybody.
Yeah, like he was kind of like he didn't say much. He was just kind of like one of those guys that'd be like, she. You know what I'm saying? Just he was kind of one of those, but he was cool. He never was like, he'll never get too offended. He wasn't one of those guys that you say something to and he all, tight. That wasn't him. He was like he was always, smooth.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's just the difference how you kind of go with these players. But I mean, man, so what was it really like to be around Michael Crabtree? I mean, I think he had some good personality, but maybe it was a little interesting with him, right?
Yeah, no, Crab, man, was one of my favorite teammates as well. You know what I'm saying? Now, Crabtree everybody know he was a different kind of guy. He had that swag on him, You can't tell him he the most swaggiest person in the world, but man, every guy had a specific reason why we loved him. And we love Crab for that. He had a dog mentality. Like if you watch him not only running routes, but he was a hell of a blocker. He wasn't one of those players that you turned on the tape and he didn't play hard like he was supposed to. He did. And I think they got under DB's skin too. When you got a receiver out there that's trying to block you out of bounds, you're gonna feel some type of way. So we love Crab for his mentality. Yeah, he one of my favorite teammates. I still talk to him.
Oh man, I gotta get this dude on my show at some point, man. It's hard to get this guy, man. You gotta reach me out for this guy.
But man, I might throw you some of my connects, man.
That's what's up, man. Because I had Julian Peterson on my show like almost a year ago. I had Derek Smith and quite a few other guys, man. But I think you're just the more interesting one because you got a lot of good stories, man. Like I'm pretty sure,
man. I got the stories for you, man.
Well, but I'm pretty sure Vernon Davis was a laid back dude. But was he kind of fun?
Yeah, man. Vernon was a laid back dude. Vernon was like one of those dudes that's like he a real smart guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people know how smart he is. Real smart guy. Real. He got a lot of information. A lot of knowledge. You have a conversation with Vernon and you ask him about something, he'll just talk on and on. He'll fill you in with almost whatever you want to know. So, that's one of the reasons why I love Vernon. He was a, great teammate, hard worker, fast, strong, all of that, dog attitude, great blocker, all of that.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely improving more as a blocker. And then I think what really turned Vernon Davis's career was because of that incident with Mike Singletary. Mike Singletary made him become an unselfish player because he told him, this is not about you. This is about the team. And I think that's what really flipped the switch on him.
Yeah, he talked about that story with us. He had to own up, to some of his mistakes he was making. He had to be more accountable, to the team and to the coaches. So, once you hear that coming from a guy like him, then you try to put that in your game.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Oh, speaking of something, speaking of what really interested you is when you left San Francisco, but you went into a really interesting situation. So for this question, AD, how did you like the cold winter playing in Buffalo? I mean, it had to be something interesting because, like, what was it like going from the Bay to Western New York in Buffalo, man?
Oh man, it was kind of like leaving paradise, because you know about sunny California.
Yeah,
you're probably there right now. But
in the hot area, but yeah.
But when you go to Western New York, man, and you see all that snow, it's different kind of days. It's different kind of days. You're going out there with the hats on and the gloves on and the big coats and all of that. And you have to wear coats in Cali as well because the breeze, but it's different. It's way different. Like, then you always stopped up. Some always wrong because, we out here playing football in it. Man, it was a grind. It was a grind. You got to be tough to play ball out there. And, I was all of that. So, I got it done, but it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, the cold weather-wise, the stadium, the way it was built. I mean, yeah, you got to play hard over there. It's kind of like you said, the cold weather difference. It's kind of like a tough type of like weather to go through. But
yes,
from your first season in Buffalo, I think you had your career best because you had opportunities to get the ball. What was it like just to get more carries than usual in San Francisco, man?
Man, it was great. It was everything I wanted. I hated leaving the game. You know what I'm saying? I did. And Frank Gore and Justice Smith and all those guys, we talked about it when I told them I was doing it because we would always have these meetings, at somebody's house. We'd be over there 7, 8 guys deep and we'll just be talking about everything. And, I show up that day. I'm like, man, think I'm finna sign with Buffalo, fellas. They like, Buffalo? I'm like, yeah, man, I think I'm finna head out Western New York. I gotta, I need more opportunity. I need more money. At the time, Trent Baalke, they didn't offer me nothing. They just, offered me a minimum. So, I was kind of fed up with that. I felt like I was better than that. I knew I was better than that. I wanted to show the world what I could do. So it was just that time. So I made that move, and I had the best year of my career. Did what I knew I could do. And wish I would have got to do it sooner, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it had to be good to get at least a fresh start and get a chance to show what you're capable of doing. I mean, it had to be a lot hard to play behind two other running backs or at least behind Gore and not getting enough touches unless it's the goal line, but they used you in a lot of different ways. So it's like, I'd rather be used more than actually be used less because I want to showcase the entire the entire lead that I'm a capable starter. If you need me to step in, I'm the guy.
Yep.
Instead of I don't want to be on the bench. I don't blame you. But opportunities present itself. You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yep. That's what I did.
I don't. Okay, interesting question. I know you still follow the Niners, but what do you think of Jimmy G, man?
I like Jimmy G. This is the thing, man. Now, we all wanted to see Trey Lance, and I was getting myself up for that because when you see his arm talent, see how he can run, you like, yeah, let's you see Lamar Jackson, you see Patrick Mahomes, you see Deshaun Watson, guys like that doing what they do every week. Josh Allen doing what they do. You want your quarterback to do that, So, but we all know Jimmy not that type of guy. But I think he is a proven guy that can win. He can win in the league. So I think Jimmy G is a winner. I don't think he's not a winner. I think he is a winner. Do I think we got a better talent on the team as well? Yes. But I think he's a winner. And I like Jimmy G, from some of the stuff I read on him and how the guys think about him. He a cool dude, you know what I'm saying? He do cool stuff. So, I like him, I like him. It's just on game day now, some of that stuff he be doing to kind of piss you off, but but he our quarterback, so we're gonna ride with him.
Oh yeah, man, most definitely, man. But interesting question right here. What do you think of the new roughing the passer rules? Do you think it's gotten soft with these rules lately, man?
Trash, pure trash. Like you see the play they took from my boy Chris Jones.
Yeah,
like come on, man.
Carr had the ball. What was he supposed to do?
Come on, man. Like they got to fix it. They got to fix it, man. They got at least start reviewing this. Like Chris said, they got to start reviewing them. If they gonna do that, then we are everybody already there. So y'all might well take an extra 30 seconds to go see if it was a penalty or not.
Oh yeah, man. They needed to start being more about it so they don't make dumb mistakes. Because a lot of these controversial calls has been costing teams playoff chances or chances to win games. Yeah.
And I say that 30 seconds to a minute is worth it to make sure they get the right call.
So you don't screw it up or at least don't get questioned about it. But
yeah.
Ooh, I like this question because I'm pretty sure when you faced opponents, you had to deal with some of those trash talkers, man. So, AD, who was the biggest trash talker you played against?
Who was the biggest trash talker I played against? See, it not many people talk trash to me, but as far as like me seeing stuff, let's see. I don't know, man. I would have to say Alden Smith, my teammate. You know what I'm saying? Because when I played the game itself, like when we was out there on the field, it wasn't a lot of guys that talk trash to me. But in practice, and I watch games and playing against that guy Alden Smith every day. Oh my God. He talked the kind of trash that just make you feel this big, when you're out there on the field. He was a monster, man. Like one-on-one pass blocking, we couldn't do nothing with him. And it was like he had shut practice down, some days because we can't block him out there. Joe, Anthony Davis, they couldn't block him every day. No. He was just that bad. So yeah, I would say he probably was the biggest trash talker.
Oh, that's interesting. I was thinking that you were going to say this answer, man. I thought you were going to say Richard Sherman, man. That guy was
Richard Sherman. Yeah, he was a big trash talker. But, we didn't have a lot of run-ins.
Oh, yeah, there's a difference.
I think one of the few run-ins we had, I don't remember him saying much after. So, yeah, I didn't really feel him like that from a trash talking standpoint.
Oh yeah, it has to be somebody that you got close to and they said something to you instead of the ones that are well known.
You used to be like, dang, bro, this dude is talking mess and he whooping my butt. And we can't do nothing about it. I was looking for one of those guys, like when I came around the edge, me and Richard Sherman going, head on one. I pretty much won those battles, so it wasn't much to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Who wants to tackle a 6'1", 240-pound guy? Like
Yeah,
that's a big running back just running to you. Like when I watched you play in college and through the NFL, bro, you would always go to the contact. Like when that secondary man would try to come and tackle you, just go boom, hit him right there.
Yeah. They wasn't talking no trash. They wasn't talking that much trash to me.
You were laying the blow, bro. You were just hitting him right where it hurts, man. Like, hey, you ain't gonna get me, man. I may not be the fastest, but I'm gonna run you over.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I didn't feel like, you know how defensive players, their mentality. I hung out with defensive players. They feel like they the hunters. We the prey. But see, with me, that thing flipped a little bit because, I don't play like that, I feel like I'm the hunter, So, yeah, that's just the mentality that I ran with.
Yeah, man, dude, you just ran with just like you just didn't care, bro. You just wanted to hurt somebody just like Mark Henry does, bro. You wanted to put them in the Hall of Pain. Yeah, well, it was by any means necessary with me. If I had to run through you, I could. If I had to jump over you, I could. I also had feet. A lot of people don't. I know you see me break long runs. I got some long run highlights. I had a 70 or 50-yard run. Yeah, I had it all. I feel like I had it all. I feel like so. Yeah. I think against Houston, you had like a 58-yard run, and you were still untackled, and you moved to the pylon and got that run. Yeah. I think that was against the Chargers. In the preseason, my first year, I went like 50 yards on them. Against their first defense, stiff arm Eric Weddle in the end zone. I'm like, yeah, I belong. I'm here. So, yeah. I don't know if you want to answer this question, but I think he might have got it a little inaccurate, but I think it was referring to Alden's girlfriend, right? He said, true comment. No comment. No, that was Alden. He's funny. Man. I like Corey Davis. He's a good guy, man. He's a funny guy, but he said, okay, I got the wrong I do both of my guys, man. I ain't getting into that. Don't ask him any of that. That ain't his problem, bro. He's talking football, bro. That's I'm what talking I like football, darling. And you know what, CG, I'm finna have to go, man. Cause I gotta get ready to go to my game. All right, man. Definitely appreciate you on the show, bro. It was a blast. Maybe down the road I'll get you back on, man. It's awesome, bro. Man, speaking of it, man, tell the audience how you've been doing, and tell them where they can follow you on Twitter or any other social media platform. Man, man, I feel like, I've been doing great, Now, I wouldn't say great, but, I'm good, man. I ain't got no complaints, man. I'm a long way away from where I used to be, you know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for that. And, yeah, you can follow me on Anthony. I think it's Anthony Boobie Dixon on Twitter, and I be on there popping. So yeah, man, tell them just tune in. I'll be out there in the Bay October 22nd for alumni weekend for the Chiefs and 49ers game. So, I'll be back in the Bay then, so if any of my Bay folks want to link up, get an autograph, whatever, just holler at me. But yeah, man, I'm still rocking and rolling. I gotta get one from you, man. But definitely appreciate it, man, and good luck on your high school team that you're coaching against, man, because you're gonna bring that energy, bro. But as always, man, CG Ruthless waiting on me right now. They waiting on you. You're ready, man. You're ready. As always, man. CG Ruthless and Anthony Dixon is out. Yeah, and we'll catch you guys later. Yeah, bro. It's much fun, bro. Much appreciated.